Hey all, it's Dil, and welcome back to our Dylcast episode. Today is episode number 84, and continuing the 2-week schedule, ladies and gentlemen, for the 2-week schedule for the episodes. So as you can see in the title, we're doing NBA finals. So I know we're doing all these like important episodes like super quick, like super early, but it's just because I just want to do whatever episodes I like to do most. I just want to choose like what episodes I want to do. I'm gonna decide like I will decide to do them. Like not like I said, like if something goes on and like it's pretty cool, like I could do that, but like I could do the like the episode could be about that, but instead I want to do something else because I don't really feel like doing that. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm just doing whatever I like. What's fun for me. If you guys enjoy it, let me know. We'll see what we do for next 2 weeks. I'm currently 14 years old. That was different. The last episode, the next episode will be September 5th. So the final episode of August. I think after the fifth, I'm gonna have 2 weeks done already of school, because school's coming up, and yeah, I mean, going to high school is gonna be weird, but I am excited. Also, the triple monitor setup is here. I got one there, and there. Also tonight, and last couple nights, and for the next couple weeks, me and my friend Ezra, he hasn't been on the podcast yet, but we have been playing Fortnite on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/daily. I will put it in the description for you guys. And yeah, so the games are really the streams are really late at night, so I don't know if you guys will be able to catch it, but they are fun. So if you want to head over there, you can watch us. We're usually playing Fortnite on the stream. Anyways, let's hop right in. The NBA playoff 2022 predictions. The way too early predictions. I forgot about that. But anyways, let's go. So we're gonna start off in the Eastern Conference for the play-in tournament. We have the 9-seeded Hornets against the 10-seeded Pacers this year, I guess. The Pacers were the 9 seed, the Hornets were the 10 seed, and they played off against each other in the 9 versus 10 seed matchup. And the Pacers won. But in this case, I have the Charlotte Hornets winning. This is a one single game, so I'm not going to talk about it for much. I think the Hornets are a better team, and I think if they had to win a single game between the Charlotte Hornets and the Indiana Pacers, it would go the Hornets' way. Moving on, we have the 7-seeded New York Knicks against the 8-seeded Boston Celtics. I think the New York Knicks will move on. They will play the 2-seeded Milwaukee Bucks, and the Charlotte Hornets will beat and then the Charlotte Hornets will play the Boston Celtics, and the Celtics will beat the Charlotte Hornets in a matchup there. I'll also give a short explanation for both games. The Knicks, I think are a little bit of a better team. They have the higher standing. Last year, the Lakers beat the Lakers beat the Warriors, and the Lakers beat the Warriors, and the Celtics beat the Wizards in the 7 versus 8 seeded game. So the Lakers and the Celtics won. They were both the 7 seeds, so I think the Knicks will win this. Like I said, and then so the Celtics and the Hornets. Now the Hornets, Celtics, both two good teams. Revenge series for Terry Rozier possibly. The Celtics are a little bit of a worse team this year without Kemba, and they haven't really gone a big piece, but I think they do have enough to squeeze into the playoffs for the 8 seed to play the Brooklyn Nets. Moving on to the Western Conference. Oh, by the way, I should say who's missing of the playoffs. So in the yeah, out of the 5 teams missing the playoffs. So the 5 teams that are going to be missing the play-in tournament are the Washington Wizards, the Toronto Raptors, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Orlando Magic and Detroit Pistons. And in the Western Conference, the 5 teams that missed will be the San Antonio Spurs, Sacramento Kings, Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Houston Rockets. So yeah, those are the teams that will miss the play-in tournament. And yeah, let's move on to the West. So now we have this 9-seeded New Orleans Pelicans playing against the 10-seeded Memphis Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies will have a tougher year this year, even though they did gain some nice pieces coming right after that Valanciunas trade. But I do think losing your starting center is a rough pick. I mean, a rough piece, even though they did get better. That is your starting center. So if you're gonna try to win, that's not a win now move. And I think the Pelicans will win this game, and the Grizzlies will be eliminated. But I think I like the I like New Orleans. I like New Orleans this year. I think they're gonna be better. Finally, they did lose their starting point guard, but I feel like Kyra Lewis Jr. will take care of that spot pretty well. They have a decent bench. I think they can really do well this year. I think they can do really well this year. Moving on, we have the 7th-seeded Golden State Warriors against the 8th-seeded Portland Trailblazers. This is another fun matchup, but I think the Warriors are going to win. They will move on to the 7th. They will be the 7th seed. I think they're going to be playing the 2-seeded Utah Jazz. I think the Jazz will have another really good year. They got better even after the phenomenal year they had. They just got better by adding a guy by the name of Rudy Gay. I know they here the Jazz, here NBA signings, here transactions, here all teams. Perfect. I found like a perfect thing. But if we're talking about the Jazz here, I don't want to get into the Utah Jazz so much, but I am just gonna bring this up a sec. The Jazz bring over Eric Pascal. They re-signed Mike Conley. They got Hassan Whiteside, Rudy Gay. They had so many really good additions. They had a few really good additions to the team, and I think they will have another really good year. But once you see who the 1 seed is, you'll know why I chose them. And then, the Warriors are going to play the Jazz, the 2 versus the 7 seed. And then now we have the Pelicans and the Portland Trailblazers, and I think the Trailblazers will be edged off and miss the playoffs, unfortunately. I just don't think they have it anymore, and I think they got to make a big move. I'm surprised. Dame could probably be gone this year. I think the Blazers still have enough. I mean, once you get out of Dame, we should probably still be able to make the play-in tournament, especially considering the bottom 5 teams are going to be the Rockets, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Kings, and the Spurs, who all 5 are pretty bad. It shouldn't be too hard for the Blazers to squeak above those 5, but without Dame. But I think Dame or not, the Pelicans will have a fight this year, and I think they will move on to play the Los Angeles Lakers, the 1 seed. There you go, the 1 versus 8 seed. And I think this will be a very interesting series between the Pelicans and the Lakers. But that has done it. So now this will be our 2022 NBA playoff bracket. The Brooklyn Nets 1 seeded against the Boston Celtics 8 seed. The 4 seeded Sixers against the 5 seeded Bulls. The 3 seeded Heat against the 6 seeded Hawks. The 2 seeded Bucks against the 7 seeded Knicks. And then in the West, the 1 seeded Lakers against the 8 seeded Pelicans. The 4 seeded Nuggets against the 5 seeded Mavericks. The 3 seeded Suns against the 6 seeded Clippers. The 2 seeded Jazz against the 7 seeded Warriors. You might be surprised where I put the Clippers this year, but with Kawhi regressing, I'm not sure. With the Kawhi injury, I'm not sure how good the Clippers will be to start off the year. I'm not even sure. We'll see. Maybe Kawhi will have the year, but I think the Mavericks and the Nuggets are gonna do better this year, and the Suns and the Jazz, Jazz, and Lakers were probably already given. It's just between the Nuggets, Mavericks, and Clippers, the three teams personally that I think can be in that like middle spot from the 4 to 6 seed. I think it's gonna be those 5 teams. I just that is where it's going. So anyways, let's move on to the East. I'll try to make it quick because it's already been 10 minutes just talking about the play-in tournament. But anyways, let's go. So we get the Brooklyn Nets against the Boston Celtics. These two matched up against each other this year, and it wasn't too much of a problem for Brooklyn. They easily handled them. The Celtics in just five games, yeah. And I think the same will happen here. I think the Celtics will snag a game. Celtics are a good team, but they do not have it. What is needed, I think, if they can add a few more pieces on the back end, especially because their front court is already insane with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But if you can add some really good supporting pieces around Tatum and Brown, I think you got yourself a championship team. The Celtics have been closer before with like really good assets, and now that they've shed some cap space, losing I found some popcorn in the garden. Shedding some cap space, losing Kemba. I think it's possible that they can do pretty well if they get some more pieces. But yeah, I know the Nets are a super team and they won't get past Brooklyn. Moving on, we have the 76ers and the Chicago Bulls. The Sixers 4 seed, Bulls 5 seed. This is another fun matchup. The Bulls are now a pretty good team with their big four in Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and DeMar DeRozan. They also got Patrick Williams at that 4th spot, so that you can add that young piece. The bench is actually pretty damn nice. With Kobe White headlining the bench, who knows? Like Kobe White can possibly take over Lonzo's spot this year. We don't know if Lonzo will be able to live up to the standards, especially with his contract. But anyways, I think they will. The 76ers will choke again, and I'm not sure Ben Simmons will be moved by the time this trade happens. Probably Ben Simmons, great defensive player, probably one of the worst offensive players in the league. I know it's a hot take right there. It smells pretty buttery still. I'm tempting to eat it, and I'm just gonna put that away. But yeah, no, the Bulls I think are just a better team, and I think they can and they will beat the Philadelphia 76ers in 7 games. Yeah, the Sixers, I don't know. If they want to get value out of Ben Simmons, it's got to be seen because you don't know. It's a big risk playing. It's big risk, big reward for Ben Simmons this year. He could pop off. If you don't have to trade him, and he could pop off, or he could just keep getting worse like he has, or you could flip him, play the safe option, flip him. Now's your best chance. You can get some pieces out of him. Because if he screw up and he continues this like streak of not playing well offensively, you are in a rough spot, Philly. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Bulls are a better team. We'll see how they do in the regular season. Maybe they'll have a better record. But I am putting them at the 5 seed, and I will have them upsetting the 4 seeded Sixers. So they're going to play the Brooklyn Nets. We'll get to the second round in a minute. Now we have the Heat and the Hawks. The Hawks had a phenomenal run last year, and they're still a phenomenal team. Also, the Heat gained a former champion in Kyle Lowry, so the Heat have the veteran have the veterancy. They have the young guns. They did lose a couple bench pieces in Dragic and Achua to Toronto, but they still do have a pretty nice roster with that starting lineup of Kylo. I'm not sure who you put at that 2 spot. If you want to go D Robinson, Duncan Robinson, or Tyler Herro, but you also got Jimmy Buckets. Who else? You got? I'm pretty sure they lost Kelly Olynyk, but they could go. You got PJ Tucker at the 4 and Bam at the center spot. So the Heat are pretty stacked, and then obviously you got some pretty solid bench pieces in Miami. So I think although the Heat now know how to win, the Hawks now know how to win in the postseason. The Heat, I think, will take care of them in 7 games. This is going to be another fun series to watch, in my opinion. With the veterancy in Miami as well, and against the young guns in Atlanta. So that'll be a fun. That'll be a weird, fun, insane series to see play out. But yeah, I think Miami will not be upset, but I think Atlanta can definitely push them to 7 games. Move on, we have the 2-seeded Bucks against the 7-seeded Knicks. And the Knicks were a problem against the Hawks, but I suspected them to go to the conference finals. I thought they were going to make the playoffs and start off with a bang. They couldn't do so, and now they're playing the defending champs. I don't think they will have enough to defeat Milwaukee. Although I do think they'll take them into 6 games, more than they did to Atlanta. I think New York is just going to get better and better. But when you're playing the defending champs, I just don't see it happening. I think the Knicks are going to be a common playoffs team for the next while. Hopefully they aren't like the Blazers, your Blazers and your Pistons and your Celtics. Just they make it, but they can't really do anything. The Celtics have made the conference finals plenty of times. That scratch the Celtics, like the Blazers and like a good team to compare is the Blazers. Like our first round, second round, 2019, obviously they went to the conference finals. So it was a great year for them, but I think I hope New York doesn't turn out like Portland does, and I hope they get like their star pieces. Obviously they got Kemba this year, and I think they will be they got better on the veteran side. They're gonna get better with their youth. It's a good. New York's in a good spot right now with the Nets and the Knicks. But yeah, no. Speaking of the Nets, we have the Nets and the Bulls. This will be an interesting series to watch, but I do think the Nets will win this one. I don't have any games game prediction for the second, third, and finals. Second and third round in the finals because it's not usually when they do the bracket challenge. The first round is the only round where you need to put in the games. But yeah, no, I think the Brooklyn Nets will win this. This could be a close series. The Bulls have the assets for like I said, the Nets are a super team, and I think they will take care of the Bulls. Yeah. Moving on, we have the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks. These two played off against each other this year and last year. Last year, the Heat took care of the Bucks in 5, I believe it was, in a shocking upset. This year, it was they got swept by the defending champs, and I think once again the Heat will fall. The Heat are really not. Those are two pretty good, pretty schmexy. Pretty schmexy big threes in Kylo, Jimmy Buckets, and Bam. And then in Milwaukee, you got Drew Holiday. It's a holiday. I don't want to get copyright. And Giannis and Middleton. And yeah, no, that'll be a fun. The Heat getting better. That'll be a fun. To see a third straight year of those two teams battling it out. But I think the Bucks will take now a tie in these two teams facing 1-1, They will now take the lead, and it'll be 2-1 Milwaukee, as they will win this one in a tightly matched battle, that's for sure. But I think they'll move on to play the Brooklyn Nets. Now these two teams matched off against each other this year. I mean, probably the most fun series to watch overall. I mean, the finals was very interesting, but I'd say this was the most fun for sure, especially Game 7 in Brooklyn. But I think the Nets will edge out the Bucks this time around. The Bucks are nice, but I think the Nets are just too. Like I said, the Nets are too much of a super team. The Nets did get better. Aldridge might even return. Who knows? Blake. Have they re-signed Blake? I don't even remember. Here, let me check. They did. Okay, so they re-signed Blake. They re-signed Bruce Brown. They signed Patty Mills. Same with James Johnson. They drafted two really nice rookies in Day'Ron Sharp and Cam Thomas, like two phenomenal rookies. They're gonna have the one thing that they were missing kind of is the bench pieces. They did lose. They're definitely their best bench piece for sure in Spencer Dinwiddie, but they still do. They adding Cam Thomas and Day'Ron Sharp and Javon Carter and James Johnson and Patty Mills. They're not really. I don't think they're worried about their bench anymore. So yeah. I think the Nets are gonna edge out the Bucks here. It's gonna be a close series, but I have the Nets taking them, the defending champs, down. The Brooklyn Nets are the finals. You probably know which team is gonna make the finals in the West, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you my predictions for the West anyways. The one-seeded Los Angeles Lakers are playing against the Pelicans, like we talked about earlier. The Pelicans, I think they're really gonna put up a fight, man. I'm saying the series is gonna go to 6 games. I don't think the Lakers coming out, they're gonna look like the best team in the playoffs by a mile, and they're gonna be caught by surprise. I think this could get a Game 1 win for the New York Knicks, if I'm being completely honest. I really like the team. I really like what the team. Why did I say New York Knicks? The New Orleans Pelicans. But I really like the team the Pelicans are forming. They're just gonna get better and better. And this year, I think they're gonna be a playoff team. This is gonna be so much marketing for the NBA with Zion against LeBron in the playoffs. But I do think the Los Angeles Lakers will take this one with dub with the score of not a score, but with 6 games. This will be kind of like how the Capitals and the Leafs did in 2016. The Capitals thought this was going to be an easy road, to get to, and then they play the Leafs in the first round, team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2013, and they are caught by surprise. They see that they knocked 2 games out of them, but I do think that the Capitals did get through. But they are going to be tested. They were tested by the Leafs, and I think it's going to be the same case here. I think the Lakers are going to have a challenge with the Pelicans in the first round, but I do think they will get through them in 6. Moving on, we have the 4-seeded Nuggets against the 5-seeded Mavericks. This is another fun series. The reason I had the Nuggets doing so well is because Jamal Murray is back. The Nuggets already had a phenomenal year. Plus, this time Jamal Murray is back. The reason I have them higher than the Mavericks and the Clippers is, like I said, because Jamal Murray's back. Nuggets were better than the Clippers this year. And then I think the Mavericks are going to have a better year. And this one's going to be a very interesting series. It's basically the star players in this series. The two best players are the 4 best players from two on the Mavs, 2 on the Nuggets are not even. None of them are from the U.S. And on Dallas, you got Luka, and I think he's on Slovakia. And then Kristaps is from Austria, I think. I don't know. Here, let me search up Kristaps Porzingis. Latvia. Luka Doncic is Slovenia. Okay, Slovenia. And then on Denver, you got Nikola Jokic, who is from Serbia, and then you got Jamal Murray from Canada. So you got a bunch of non-American stars running this series, but I do think this will be a tightly contested matchup. And although the Nuggets, I think their roster is better, I do have the Dallas Mavericks finally winning a playoff series. I think there's a team every year that kind of shocks us all, shocks us with one series. In the Eastern Conference, it'll probably be the Bulls over the Sixers this year, and I think and then in the West it'll be the Mavericks over the Nuggets. And then this year, in 2021, I think the upset will probably be the Clippers over the Jazz, and possibly the Suns over the Lakers, to be completely honest. And then in the West, it was definitely the Hawks over the Sixers. There's always a team that no one expects them to win, and then they win in the NBA in each conference. And then I think it's gonna be Dallas and Chicago this year. So it's gonna be a 7-game series. It's gonna be very tightly contested on both sides. But I do think the Mavericks will slightly come away with the W. Moving on, we have the Phoenix Suns playing the Los Angeles Clippers. This will be a fun matchup. This was the conference finals last year in the NBA, but like I said, I think the Mavericks and the Nuggets will do better than them in the middle of the 8. But I think Phoenix will win. I think the Clippers will once again definitely put up a fight against Phoenix, but I think the Suns are just too good. They're one of the best teams in the NBA now, and I think they will defeat the Los Angeles Clippers in 7 games. I like the Clippers, but they gotta retool. Aside from PG and Kawhi, it drops down too much. On the Bucks, you got your Middleton, and you got your Giannis, and then you got your Jrue Holiday, which is close. On Phoenix, you got your CP3 and your Devin Booker, and then DeAndre Ayton's right there. And Utah is kind of the same thing. You got Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, and it goes quite down a lot. But for example, the Lakers is another team that doesn't fall down too much. It goes LeBron, AD, and then Russ is right there. Dallas is the same team as LA, but you got Brooklyn, the same who's got the big 3. You got Miami, you got Atlanta, possibly even Philly, definitely Chicago, and mainly the whole Eastern Conference has their big 3 that I haven't personally making the playoffs. But I think the Clippers is a team, one of those teams that that won't have enough power to defeat the Suns. They didn't have enough power they didn't have enough power to beat the Suns this year. They lost to them in 6 games, and I think this time they will put up more of a fight. They will 4-7, but I do think the Suns will beat them. And now we got the Jazz and the Warriors. The Warriors coming out of the play-in tournament, winning against the Portland Trailblazers in the first round for the 7 to the 8 seed against the 8 seed. Warriors missed last year. They're gonna get Clay back. Draymond's actually back to his star form. For a while he was really lacking, but now he's back to his phenomenal defensive form. And yeah, no, I think the Warriors, how well they do in the playoffs, but this time I do have them be getting finished off by the Jazz. The Jazz will take care of them in 6 games, in my opinion. The Jazz are a better team, personally, but the Warriors are known for being phenomenal in the playoffs. So I think, this will be a fight, 6 games, like I said, but the Jazz will win. And then moving on, we have the Lakers and the Mavericks, another close matchup, except I have Los Angeles winning. I think Los Angeles has more of a bend, has just more power than Dallas. They essentially have the most power in the league, and so far it's been all about power. Who's won the power and how stacked each team is. That really decides who wins the series. But I have LA taking the dub right here against Dallas. And then we have the series that a lot of people wanted to watch was the Jazz and the Suns, the two top teams this year. Except the Clippers edged the Suns in 6 games. I think the Clippers. I like the Clippers. I don't know why I'm talking about the Clippers, but the Jazz are nicer. Both these teams are nice. I think they are taking a spot down because the Lakers, but they still are both phenomenal teams. They both got better this offseason somehow, I think this will be a super fun matchup. With you got your young pieces, and you got Rudy and CP3, the veterans, and you got Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. But like I said, this playoffs is all about power, and I think the Phoenix Suns have more of that. This is another 7-game series for sure, 6 or 7. But I think Phoenix will edge them. This year was all over power. The Suns had too much power over the Nuggets and the Lakers and the Clippers and the Bucks over the Bucks. Aside from the Brooklyn series, I think the Bucks had the more power over Miami and Atlanta, and in the finals, the Phoenix Suns. There was a lot of 6-game series especially in the Western Conference. There was so many 6-game series. In the East, there was the conference finals was 6 games. That none of the other games were 6. But anyways, the Suns just had the Suns and the Bucks had the most power, and that's why they were in the finals together. And I think that's the case here. The Suns have more power than the Jazz, and that's why I think they will beat them. Now moving on in the finals, staying on that category of power, we got the Lakers and the Suns. The Lakers are so much better. They won the championship. They got better after they won the championship and lost, but I do think they will get back to the finals. They still are a really good team, and I do think they will beat the Phoenix Suns, even though this year, once again, the Suns did play the Lakers, and a lot of people thought the Lakers would beat the Phoenix Suns, but it did not happen. The Lakers, the Suns kind of took care of the Lakers quite easily, in my opinion. But I can't really talk right now. I'm not sure where I'm going, but I Okay, I'm gonna get back to my goal. The Suns took care of the Lakers quite a lot easier than people expected. And although the Suns still got better, the Lakers got so much more better. And I think, yeah, like on the category power, I think the Lakers will just are just so much more stacked and have the veterancy, and now Phoenix knows what to do in the playoffs and getting to that conference finals already. But I do think they will be edged out by their division rival. So now we got the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets in the finals. Like everybody wanted this year. Unfortunately, these two teams got edged out by the two teams that were in the finals this year, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. But funny enough, how these two teams, the other two teams in the two teams that lost in the conference finals were in the finals this year. So, anyways, very confusing few sentences I just said right there. But anyways, we have our big finals that we want to watch. We'll get a little we'll get a little regular season action with these two super teams to see how it'll work out. But this will be a fun matchup to watch. In my opinion, I think personally, I think the Lakers will win it. With LeBron, this will be like, there's so many storylines in the finals. I don't have to tell you guys all, but you got LeBron against Kyrie, KD against KD versus Russ, and you got Harden versus AD, which is isn't much, but two really good wings. But yeah, like so many storylines, such a eventful and fun finals. This is probably the most fun, aside from Phoenix in Utah and in Miami, Atlanta. But I think in LA, New Orleans. But I think the Los Angeles Lakers will win it all. Like I said, I think they have more power than the Brooklyn Nets. They have more veterancy, and yeah, I think LeBron will get his 5th ring. I don't know if that puts him as a GOAT, especially considering the team he had built around him. But I don't know. I think the Lakers will once again be champions this time over the Brooklyn Nets. So anyways, that has done it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a super fun episode to do. Like I said, I want to do more episodes that I want to do. But if, like I said, you guys always know that in the comments there is the Google Forms that you guys can check out. So you can put in ideas. So if I like them and I decide that I really want to do them, then I will do them, and I will shout you out in the episode to do it to like see your to see your did you see blah, blah, blah. And I will do you'll hear it. So anyways, this has done it. I'll see you guys in September. I hope you guys have another fun few weeks. Like I said, I've been streaming a bunch recently on my Twitch channel late at night from around 11 to 3 a.m. in the morning on twitch.tv/dailydill. The link is in the description. So yeah, check me out. I'm probably going to be streaming tonight. And I love you guys all. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace!